Let Setolale just update us on what else he's found out.
Well, a very good afternoon, Mark Masai from Busia County. We're actually at the Busia one-stop border post. We just left Malaba border post 10 minutes ago, and of course we're using a chopper, so it was very fast arriving here. We're being hosted by the governor himself, so Peter Ojemong. And before that, we're just going to, have a clear briefing from the head of delegation. There is a multi-agency from Nairobi, like you mentioned, that is just inspecting whether the border posts that are being considered as targeted clusters in the fight of COVID-19. This is because of the interaction with a lot of foreign nationals. Now, this here at Busia one-stop border point, of course, we know it is very crucial because goods and people usually cross over from Uganda and Kenya and vice versa. And so even to get a clear picture of what we're expecting later today, let us hear from the head of the multi-agency, or rather the team leader of this particular team that we started off at the Malaba border post, and right now we're in Busia. We don't have much time. Just in a brief, just tell us what you expect from Busia before I invite over the governor to speak.
Okay. Our purpose of visit is four-pronged. First, we are checking whether there is adherence to the requirements of Ministry of Health. And secondly, we see how prepared we are in this area if there is a hit of coronavirus because of being the border being what it is. And thirdly, look at gaps that are there that we can be able to address. Fourth, to recommend on what actions to be taken both right here and what we are required to go and do in Nairobi. That is why we were in Taita Taveta, Kwale, and Kajiado yesterday, Lungalunga, Namanga, and Taveta.
Earlier on, we were at the Malaba border post, and there are concerns about what is called social distancing. There are also concerns about the congestion at Malaba border post, and this is caused by a huge traffic snarl-up, and this is caused by the trucks that are supposed to enter or exit the border, and this has been caused by the operation, the screening that is being done at the border. And of course, you did mention that on the Kenyan side, we are doing more of the thermal temperature tests. That is just checking on the temperatures. But the Ugandans are doing quite a comprehensive testing. And the issue is, why not us? Why not going the Uganda way, just to make sure that each and every 3,000 drivers that are estimated to be crossing over or entering the country go through this mandatory exercise?
Maybe I'll let my colleague from the CS Health to answer that.
Yes, thank you. Definitely, as a ministry, we are planning to extend our testing to border points as well. You know, this is a border point. Even though we have restricted movement of people across the border on our side, we have not restricted movement of cargo. Cargo is driven by people as well. So we have, as part of our expanded targeted testing, planning to do tests here. We will be able to collect samples and be able to process them elsewhere in the beginning and report the results. But we are also working on programs to try to actually do tests on the spot.
Thank you so much, Dr. I don't have much time. Let me just bring in now the governor before I go to the CAS for transport, Chris Obure. Governor, what are some of the concerns as a county that you are facing in terms of fighting COVID-19? And what do you expect the multi-agency to recommend going forward? Maybe even as you face the camera.
Okay. That will be the first task. The most difficult task is the management of the trucks, the truck drivers, and the loaders. You'll find that it has been given that they have to quarantine for 14 days when they reach their destinations. But they have just been going to Mombasa back without even quarantining. So they come and spend most of the time here and mingle with the people. And it's the greatest fear that we have to manage it. First, we have to have a trailer park where they can be stationed before they cross. Two is might be the testing equipment, just the way you have mentioned that the Ugandans are very thorough in the screening. That's why you even see the snarl up. But with us, we are just taking the temperatures. We also want to intensify that. And we need the equipment, the testing equipment. Then the protective, the PPEs for our health workers. They are scared to work without those ones. I think that's a very, very urgent thing that should be addressed. We need to have them fully equipped with the PPEs so that they can access their stations of work with ease. Those are the most serious ones.
Thank you. And just very quickly, because we don't have time, the CAS for transport infrastructure in this particular county has also been mentioned as a challenge in terms of the transit to the border point. What was supposed to be a dual carriage hasn't been effected as per now, and yet we have a 30-kilometer track snarl-up at the Malaba border. What is the national government doing towards this?
Yes, thank you very much. We were able to see today, particularly at Malaba, that the huge snarl-up is caused by the fact that our neighbors in Uganda are carrying out these comprehensive tests on vehicles coming into Kenya. Now, we were also able to, it was demonstrated to us that there is an element of contribution caused by the fact that the one lane that was the additional lane that was supposed to have been constructed right up to the entry point has not been completed. And we giving an fast-tracked.
It will be fast-tracked. Now, my director is just cutting me off. And you didn't mention June. By June. You said by June. Of course, we're now taking the CAS for transport to account. By June, the dual carriage should be in place, especially at the Malaba border point. But from here, it is a briefing at the Busia border point. Then we're going to move to the Isabania border point, which borders Kenya and Tanzania. That should take less than an hour. And of course, we're using a chopper, Mark Masai, as you drive home later tonight. Mark.